Well, good morning, everyone, and a beautiful morning it is, and another morning filled with our coffee club discussion. I can't help. I don't know why I started doing that coffee muggy thing. I just did, and kind of stuck, became a thing.
Yeah.
So, good morning to you, Alex.
Good morning. I have mine right over here, so I get it.
We are following the program,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll just chat a little till people figure out we're here. I think that's the great hope, right?
Yeah.
So, how was the start of your day so far?
Good day. Busy days are good days.
Yes, they are. They are very much so. We're very grateful to be busy, correct?
Yes, very much so, especially with everything going on.
Yeah, you know it. So let me introduce you to the folks. So this is Alexandria from Huntington Learning Center in St. Cloud. And I think this is a great conversation we're about to have. Certainly the topic is one of the topics of the day, some of the things that are certainly being talked about. And the big deal, which is how are we going to be preparing our kids for the upcoming 2020-2021 school year, which just a few months ago it felt like it was a just eons away, and now it's not that far away. Certainly, the district had a meeting last night, and they have delayed the start from August 10th, now pushed that to August 24th. So my first thought, Alex, and I'll be quiet, let you talk. My first thought is that just means that we're even more distant from when school stopped meeting face to face in physical school facilities. So that's where you guys come in. Such a great solution, such a great facility, and great folks. So I'm going to just let you talk and tell people what you do and how that fits into the particular needs these days for students.
Yeah, absolutely. So to start off, I'm the head of program here for our center in St. Cloud, Kissimmee. And what we focus on is grades K through 12, and we also do exam prep. So that is anyone who is getting into their high school years, trying to get into like the SAT, ACT, any kind of achievement test that they're doing. And we also do work with those who are going for like a GED or an ASVAB, anything like that. So we do testing, and we also do your more normal, even though I don't like the word normal, like K through 12 educational, supplemental education. So what we do is we have individualized programs for every student that we have that work with needs, what they struggle in. So it's not going to be a cookie cutter situation where, okay, here's everything math. We're going to learn everything math. It's going to be, okay, you're great at addition and subtraction and multiplication with standard, regular, single digit, double digit, triple digit, mixed numbers, but you struggle with mixed fractions when you're doing adding, subtracting, dividing, anything like that. So our programs are specifically prescribed and created to work with what the student struggles with from the very foundation of where that struggle came from. So we work on fixing the foundations here in our center with our curriculum. So that way when the student is applying what they're learning here to their homework or to their assignment with school, they're able to understand and actually implement those strategies and that understanding so they can get the grades and the scores that they want.
So what are you seeing? So since March, when the pandemic really hit, schools didn't come back to session physically. Mm-hmm. So what have you been seeing? And I certainly don't mean this in any derogatory fashion to the school district, but what have you been seeing students? Has the distance been challenging for them? I'm assuming it has been.
It has. We have actually seen up to a year's worth of academic loss due to the change in the way that our school is implemented, whether it be due to COVID or just due to the lack of schools being able to do summer school. So due to not having summer learning and due to the switch from in-person learning to online learning, some students are seeing up to a year's worth of academic loss, which when you take that in terms of semesters, that's almost 2 semesters worth of school. So that's definitely been like the biggest struggle that we've seen. And with that being said, when we got the news yesterday that the school district was pushing back school another 2 weeks,
right,
it's definitely causing some tension with parents, because they're like, well, online learning wasn't working. We thought we were going to go back. Now we're not. Now we have all these options. What do we do? And when we really sat down and looked at everything and like a broad spectrum plan, we're actually coming up with a program for our parents and our students here in our county. And this program is going to be is a virtual school support program.
Right.
So with that being said, we're going to offer it to all of our grades that would like to, so K through 12, because that's what we specialize in. But it's mostly probably going to be more geared toward 5th through 8th grades, like your middle school grade area, because they're the ones transitioning to a harder curriculum when it's online. So when you hit that middle school area, your schoolwork gets harder, it gets longer, you're spending more time in homework. And with parents having to go back to work, they're not going to be able to do the same kind of in-person quarantined, let me help my kid finish the school year kind of thing.
Right.
So we're working on that program. And then what that's going to be is we're going to have certified teachers who are going to help those students during their school virtual learning to ensure that they sign in, that they do the classes, that they learn and complete the required homework and practices, and that there is a teacher there to assist them and the parents when they have to go to work or can't administer the online learning themselves. So we're going to be doing that in low ratios, so 1 teacher to 4 to 6 students. So we follow the CEC guidelines still here in our center.
So my first thought now, so are you set up, when parents hear this, I think they're going to, this is the first thing that hit me. So are you speaking of the virtual school platform, or are you looking at the distance learning, which is I think option 2?
We're looking at a little bit of both, because whenever a student is working online, if that parent isn't either able to help them in person, or let's say if they have to go to work or they can't do the material, it's over their head. My kid's doing geometry's not my thing. One of those kind of situations. Then we're going to be offering for that parent to bring their child into our center with their device to work on that work here, where there's a certified teacher here following CEC guidelines in low ratios to help them complete that homework and what the school is asking them to complete and do.
So can you describe to me a little bit, so how does it now, so people really are clear about this, are this is face-to-face teaching, correct? Not just, you're no longer just doing the distance learning, correct?
So for our parents, for like our normal learning center with our Huntington curriculum, we still offer the distance learning over summer, because that is something that some parents are like, with everything going on and numbers rising, we want to stay home and stay in quarantine.
Right.
So we still offer it. This particular program, we're offering it in person here at our center, because we know that they're not getting that in-person teacher to student interaction.
Right.
So we want to be able to foster that and have that happen, even though they're doing the distance learning.
And what is your preference in that? So how does it fit with, how does it work if the parents choose option 1 and the kids are going to be back in the classrooms? So how does that work? Can you kind of just paint that picture for me?
Yeah. So are we talking? Well, first I'm going to ask this. So are we talking about the supplemental program that we're talking about? Or are we talking about our normal learning center?
Yeah, I'm talking about so when, and maybe I skipped ahead. So when
Sorry.
When no, it's okay. When fall comes, and if the parents have chosen option 1, how does that fit? How does it fit schedule-wise with what you offer?
So schedule-wise, if the student is going to a school full-time and they're doing that, they're getting off at their normal typical hour, which is anywhere between, depending on their grade, 2 to 4 o'clock, let's say. So with that, we actually have extended evening hours for those students to come here and do either their Huntington curriculum with their prescribed program that they have with us, or if they needed to have that supplemental homework help educationally, then we can also do later evening hours. So what our center normally does is we're normally open till 7 p.m. So that gives a good 3 hours if your student gets out at 4 to have that educational supplemental help in that evening after the school day.
So in what course offerings do you guys typically are you stressing to help?
So a lot of the time when it comes to our learning center for our K through 12 programs, we stress your verbal program, which is a like a mixture of your English, your reading, your writing, your vocabulary, your ability to pull out the information that the passage is asking you. So whether that's finding a detail or putting something in order, sequencing, our main focus is your ability to read and understand and comprehend material. And that falls into your math, because as you get older, and you see it a lot, and when you go from like an elementary, as it goes closer to middle school and higher, a lot of the math problems are going to be word problems. And you have to know how to decipher it and what to pull out. And if you don't have that understanding of the foundational area of the pulling out the material from reading the passage, you're not going to do very well on pulling that information in that math problem. So our main focus is normally on your verbal side of a program. And then we also add in that math help. And then we also do subject tutoring. And then we do our exam prep.
And so if I'm correct, now tomorrow is another webinar. We probably should touch on that a bit, right?
Yes. So we are doing a webinar tomorrow, and if I'm not mistaken, it starts at 1 o'clock, and it is going to be on how to make the most out of a summer break. And with that being said, we're going to have someone discussing summer learning, why it's important, how to minimize the COVID and summer slides, how to incorporate things in a fun but academic way into each day, and setting goals for the kids for the new school year that's starting. Now it's a little bit later, but also for the summer, which is now extended. Right. And this isn't geared to a specific age range. It's anywhere from K through 12. And it's going to be about an hour long. And then there's going to be a Q&A area. And then we're also recording it. So if you're not able to jump on and be a part of it, you can still sign up, and then you can watch the webinar as a recorded.
Gotcha. And so what if I'm just thinking if parents just are not sure how, I mean, I've got to think, so my son just graduated. Mm-hmm. So he'll be off to Valencia for a couple of years and then off to UCF. And so it's a different feel for me this year, for some crazy reason, because my kid's not going back to district. But I've got to think that, from what I'm seeing online, I should say it that way, from what I'm seeing comment-wise, mm-hmm. I think people are still confused about what the real, the whole package should look like. I mean, as they're coming into the fall, they're unsure of where other parents are at. They're not sure of safety. And so I think they're trying to figure out now, how do you put this whole thing together? So how can they look to you for consultation on this?
Yes. So with our particular center, and I know that a lot of centers are doing it, we're making sure that we're working with the school district, that we have understanding of how they're implementing and things like that once that information becomes available. So we will have parents, and we actually do currently have some inquiring, like, we're thinking of this option, but we're not really quite sure. What do you think? What would be your choice, or what would be your opinion on the matter if you had a child like mine going into the school this year in August? And although, it's not our child physically, metaphorically they are, and actually they are our students. So we do care, and we definitely want to make sure that the situation that they go into, whether the option that they choose, is the best one for that child. So we're not going to say, well, if it was our kid, this is what we would do, but we will say, these are the three options. Right. This is how they would relate the best for your child. Which one do you like? Which area, if we specifically take them, lay them out with your child individually, which one speaks to you more? Do you like this option? This is the pros and cons. And we kind of do it that way. And we lay it out on the table to a way that is more understandable to a parent than sometimes when you read like what's the word? Like a note on like the conference yesterday. Sometimes the dialogue will be like, I don't understand what they're talking about. What does that actually mean? And we'll simplify it and say, okay, well, when they say this is what they're meaning. So which one do you want to go with? Because that's going to be the pro and con to it.
Sure. So then, what I don't want to miss asking you this question. I think I know the answer before I ask it. Well, you never know. So again, there is a lot of anxiety out there. People are just not sure. We're in an uncertain time, and now they're trying to figure out, okay, so now time is just about run out of this extended summer thing. Should I wait to see what the fall looks like? Should I take a deep breath and come over and come to Huntington right now in St. Cloud? Reach out to you guys and say, look, should we shake the cobwebs off? Should we wait to see how this all fits? I'm thinking if it's me, I would bring my son to see you now to make sure that all that long-term relaxation they've had possibly has been sharpened and ready for the fall. Is that what you guys are saying?
Yeah. So what we have noticed is that we're actually able to see as high as a 30% academic increase in growth with our students in just 12 hours into a program.
Really?
So with that being said, we actually have some parents who used to come like 2 days a week. Now they're like, well, we want to have them come 4 days a week because we want them to get back into the swing of having to do academic work every day.
Right.
So we do have some parents who do that. And that is actually something that we would actually strongly recommend is you now have an extended 2 weeks. You now have, instead of just having it the summer end in 2 or 3 weeks, you have an extra almost 6 weeks to get your student ready for when fall starts, whatever option you choose. And they've already been at home since March.
Right. So no need for an extended trip anywhere. You probably should stay home at this point and get the kids ready.
Work on your academics. If we are actually doing a summer special right now with our academic evaluation, we're offering it to parents for $69, which is normally $195 value. And so that includes the academic evaluation, the testing, finding what exactly the child struggles with to work on those foundational skills to help them get ready for their school year. And that is something that I think was a wonderful idea that Wei had and that she implemented, because a lot of the time you're going to have kids who are going into the school year and they're like, I don't want to do this. I want my extra time. I want my extended summer. But then when fall hits, it's going to be like, oh, CRAP.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for this.
And
the parents going to say the same thing. Yeah. So that's kind of my personal opinion on it, is that now that we have the extended time until fall starts, I would jump on the opportunity to make sure that they are academically ready, with whichever option they choose, just because we all know it's going to be somewhat of a struggle.
You know it. I mean, I'll bring my son back into it again. And so what we're working on is looking at all the courses he's setting up for Valencia, making sure that he's not waiting until August 23rd to start mentally getting prepared. It just doesn't make any sense to do that, right? So tomorrow, if a great way to get introduced to, I'm going back for the people who might popped on. So a great way to be introduced to what you do at Huntington Learning Center is free webinar tomorrow. A great way to hear some of what you've been talking about right now. Am I correct?
Yes. So that webinar is going to be happening tomorrow, and it's going to be going over about what we do, how the learning over the summer is important, especially now with the change with the school district and when school is going to be going back. And it's also going to be talking about how to minimize those COVID-19 and summer slides that we've been seeing over summer, and how to set those new goals for the extended summer and for the school year as it comes up.
Awesome. So I'll put the links into this particular feed, but if you want to explain to people just how they can make sure they're part of that webinar tomorrow, why don't you go ahead and do that?
Absolutely. So what you can do is you have a couple different options. You can click on a direct link, which I'm assuming is what we're going to be entering here, and it'll take you right to an area where you can enter in like your email address, and it'll send you either a link or a pre-record, or the recording of the webinar, depending on if you're able to sign into it live or if you do it after. And then you will be able to just log in, sign up, and it's all pretty simple and easy. Otherwise, you can go straight to our huntingtonhelps.com and then go under webinars and do it that way. It's a little bit longer of a process, more clicking required, but still pretty simple.
We're used to clicking these days. I think we can pull that off, right? And I know we covered that a couple of times. I just wanted to make sure for those people had popped in that they don't. Just tomorrow, a great opportunity to learn more about what Huntington does, and that it's a free webinar.
Yes, absolutely. And then We're also going to be making sure that we post it tomorrow morning right on our top of our Facebook page. So if everybody wants to go over there, like our Facebook page, that way you get notified when we post it, and you can click on that direct link that way as well.
Very cool. Anything else you want to share with people just in general, or about the Learning Center, where it's located? Anything you want to share with people? Because I think it's not just the students that are having summer slide. I think maybe the parents are having some summer slide as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are located at, our address is 4554 13th Street, St. Cloud, Florida, 34769. We are located right off of, I'm going to call it 192, right between the Home Depot and the Walmart, right next to the GameStop in that shopping center right there.
I was going to say, there's for students of that age, for sure, the GameStop is probably a great navigating tool.
Yes, we have some parents that'll come in like, we sent dad that way, but we're going to come in here and talk to you. And we're like, oh.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you coming in today, or us coming together today and discussing this. It hit me last night when I was watching the district's meeting, and I thought, honestly, if I had a student that was attending the district still, there's no question, I would be looking for help. And I think sometimes people assume that when you say tutoring, that maybe some old school kicks in, and you're thinking if the kids their grades are not, they're just not making it, you think, well, that's when this comes into play. But in reality, this can also be about getting prepared at a higher level. I know you're helping with SATs and ACTs as well. Is that still correct?
Yes, exactly. So actually with our programs, and you made a very good point there, with our programs, when we give our explanation and like what we do and how we do it to our parents, our biggest thing is, okay, so as an example, your kid is in 5th grade. They're operating at whatever grade level their academic evaluation showed us. These are the areas that they're struggling with. At the end of their program with us, we will be working with them to be 1 year higher than their current academic grade. So we're actually working toward getting them to a 6th grade level, so that way when they get to 6th grade, they are prepared and they are ready.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything more awesome than having your child come home that day and say, this was easy today, because we've already done a lot of this at Huntington. So that's got to be a big win for kids. It's certainly got to be a self-esteem builder. I think there's no question. If your child's sitting in a classroom and it's not puzzling the content that he or she is hearing, it's just got to be a big win for the whole family. So, well, we appreciate you. Honestly, we talk every day about it Positively Osceola, about making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. And honestly, you really do that. We're glad we're partnered with you guys, because we want people to know we do interface with a lot of families in this county. And I know people have great amounts of concern, but it's time to get the kids ready. That's really what the deal is, right? It's the time of chilling out is pretty much running out. So my encouragement to the community, if your kids are going to be in school this year, then look for some help now. Don't wait till maybe the kids are behind. Get at it now and call Huntington. You can get that, as it says right here, 407-789-0028, or visit huntingtonhelps.com. So again, appreciate your help today.
Oh, one thing. Okay, phone number. It's 789-0228.
Oh, we can fix that right now.
Sorry, I just saw that. I was like, wait a second.
Yes. Say that one more time.
407-789-0228.
Perfect. And I see another little thing. We'll fix that too. Bam.
Okay, you're good. It's all good.
Look at that. We got it done. Just in time, folks.
There you go.
All right, there you go. It's 407-789-0228.
Perfect.
That's your answer. That's your help. I appreciate your help today, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Alex from Huntington Learning Center in St. Cloud, together making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Have a great day.
Thank you. You as well.